book chat. Hi, let me actually unmute myself before I talk next time. How are you guys? Hello, welcome to the stream. Welcome to day 3 of raising money for Gamers Outreach to help bring video games to kids in hospitals. Hello. Hi. Also, Sam, thank you so much for the raid. It's good to see you, and I know you raided and ran, so I don't know if you're still here. If you are, thank you. And hello, everyone who has raided in from Sam's channel. Guys, if you're new here, hello, my name is Diana Faye. I am a TTRPG creator who's actually been on Sam's channel as part of a little interview series that they did a little while ago. And I am also a Twitch streamer and partner, as you can imagine, based on the fact that you're live on Twitch right now. I'm also a YouTube partner, member of the Twitch Tabletop Creator Club, actually the advisor for the Tabletop Creator Club, as well as a member of the Pride Guild, Latin Guild, and Women's Guild. I am a content creator. I am a model. I do whatever the fuck, you know. So thank you guys so much for rating in and hanging out. Today we are doing a very special stream. It is the last day of our fundraising for Gamers Outreach. We are doing a whole charity stream. There's going to be another one later in the month as well as part of my birthday month celebrations, where we are trying to bring video games to sick kids in hospitals through Gamers Outreach. They're a wonderful organization that has these things called go-karts that they use to bring games such as Minecraft, multiplayer games, you know, Mario Kart, things like that, to hospital beds in a very mobile, very sanitary way, so people can have, or kids specifically, can have a little bit of socialization, a little bit of escapism, and so on and so forth. And so they provide these go-karts to hospitals. They also have what are called save points, which are like these little vending machines that give prizes like game codes and things like that to kids who have, like, you know, reached milestones in their treatment and whatnot. And so there's a lot happening. There's this one's actually kind of cool, so I'm gonna turn that on because I need to finish posting.
During last year's fundraiser, we unveiled a new program called Portal. Today, I'm excited to give you an update on the progress we've made in the last number of months. One of the major challenges hospitals face is managing video game content and individual devices across hundreds of rooms.
Can I move this?
Through Portal, our goal is to provide hospitals.
Because it's burned in anyway. I don't think we need two subtitles here. Hey, Matthew says I'm actually here on first stream for once. Yay, welcome in.
Activity and maintain equipment. Since we unveiled Portal, we've sent demo units to 10 select hospital partners who've provided us with initial feedback on the software. Currently, we're working with one of those hospitals to create a dedicated playroom where Portal will be deployed for patient use. We'll be collecting feedback from the hospital.
I love that they have like actually modern games for these kids. I feel like when I think of like, you know, video games get to kids in hospitals through normal programs, or at least ages ago, back before I learned about all this, it was like, oh, we'll just donate like leftover supplies, you know, and old consoles and things like that. But this is like actually keeping them up to date with video game developments and whatnot.
I'd like to share,
hi, Turtle Day.
A new program page on the Gamers Outreach website dedicated to Portal. Through this page, hospital partners can express their interest in the platform and sign up for demo opportunities.
Yeah, so they do a whole bunch of stuff. It's really comprehensive, honestly. Like, they provide a ton for the kids and also help for the hospitals to actually utilize things like these systems effectively. And so that's what we're raising money for. We had an initial goal of $1,000 when we started, and we have smashed through it. We actually smashed through it within, I think, the first hour of the stream on Monday. And then we smashed through $1,500 or 1,500. Was it 1,500 or 1,250? I don't know, but we hit it really fast on day 2, and today is day 3. Now you'll notice I've updated the goal to $2,000, and we actually have 4 new giveaways as well within the first half hour. Yeah, that sounds about right. We also have 4 new giveaways. Thomas Susano and My Nerd Life have both chipped in with different prizes to add to the pool, which we actually reached one of them just now. At $1,600, Thomas was going to give away a handmade dice vault to the community. Once we reach 1,750, we'll have a wooden mixology/bar board from him, and at 2,000, there will be a specialty roast cutting board, which is really good looking. They're nice. Oh my god. I'll show you pictures when I actually set up the giveaways and things like that in the announcements channel, the Discord that'll be this weekend. And of course, as always, you do not have to actually donate in order to apply for the giveaway, because that's not how sweepstakes are supposed to work, and I don't want to get in trouble with the FTC. So this is going to be something where you can just like click a button, react to a message, and then we'll do a random drawing, probably not this weekend, but the weekend after, so you'll have plenty of time to enter. You can enter for as many prizes as you want, but you cannot win more than one, because we do a lot of giveaways, and I don't want a bunch of prizes to just go to the same person. So that is that's like kind of the only caveat there. But we'll be doing that this weekend. I do also want to point out my Nerd Life offered to send a tapestry to a winner as well, which is going to be our $1,900 giveaway unlock. So again, every milestone we reach, the more we unlock to give away to people. Thomas says, I will always be down to help creators that are doing good deeds. It's how I want my personal brand to be known. You're doing amazing at that. Beyond that, if you guys are watching on Twitch right now, you can use !donate to donate and go straight to the Tiltify page where everyone's like, names are getting updated. There'll be a little overlay that pops up when you donate, or you can just keep tabs on things and keep an eye on how things are going. Lucas says the tapestry is so soft. Oh, good. Yeah, dude, I really like it. It's honestly not like uncomfy, which is really nice. And Gary, hello, says, I swear down the line we'll be donating video games to retirement homes when we start populating them. Dude, if I'm retired, the first thing I want to do is just relax in my bed and play like some fully immersive like VR style game. Like, give me Sword Art Online without all the problems, and I that's what I want. Give me a quick sec to toss down something on Instagram to let people know that we're live. But how have you guys been? How has it been going? How has the week treated you so far? It is only halfway through, so I know it's kind of a tough question, but... Eva says, when you're retired, get 6 more cats. Dude, I would do that now. The cats are amazing. They're so much fun. They were like basically they're trying to smother me in my sleep, but in like a cute, harmless way, where they were this morning. I woke up and they were both like right here, and they kept sniffing my mouth for some reason. Is this a thing, by the way? Are there other cat owners in chat who are like, yeah, cats just sniff your mouth for no... Hold on. Why do cats like mouths? Cats are attracted to human mouths due to the intense scent of breath and food, acting on their curiosity and social bonding. They really, really like just like shoving their nose right there. Placing a paw in your mouth is a common way for a cat to request attention or playtime, and they might be trying to groom you. Oh. That makes sense. They smell the food on your breath. This is like first thing in the morning. It cannot be a good smell. Nimbus says, my cats do. It's absolutely a thing. I keep trying to roll over and like get away from them. They physically won't let, like if I turn over on my pillow in my sleep, they'll just come right up. They'll like fully haul themselves up onto their feet, move around, shove their face in my, like right here in my face again, and then lay down again. And they are fucking relentless. Susanna says Farron does that to Christina when she's brushing her teeth. Really? Oh shit, I don't think they know that toothbrushes exist. At least they haven't really like hopped up onto the bathroom counter that much. I don't think. Anyway, I need to go live on Instagram as well. Charity stream and gaming on Twitch. Update. I'm pretty sure Instagram also does that thing where they like suppress anything that has to do with any other platforms, which is unfortunate. Yves says my steak is too juicy, my lobster is too buttery. All right, I mean, I'd bring them in. They're so big now. They're such big little kitties. They're so cute. They've upgraded. They're no longer kittens. They're full-on cats now. Firebird says I'm allergic to cats, but all my friends who have cats say that it's a shame because all their cats love me. I know, cats really just like detect whoever is allergic in a room, don't they? But Jeffet says, oh, your little family. It is really cute. It has also woken me up pretty early in the morning. It's either that or the vitamin D is finally reaching its a normal level. Also, here we go. We just had a couple more donations. I caught it out of the corner of my eye this time. Over on the Tiltify. For those who are just joining on Instagram, we're raising money for kids in hospitals at the moment, and that's over on Twitch, so you can't see my screen, but I will tell you that we raised $1,756.96, which is a little bit more than what we needed to unlock the next giveaway for the community, which was Thomas Susano's handmade wooden mixology/bar board. I will also fully admit I didn't know what a mixology/bar board was until he sent me a picture. But that's amazing. Our next goal is gonna be the big one, the tapestry, at $1,900. I will say My Nerd Life have offered, like, they have 10 different options for tapestries, and they're like, yeah, the winner just gets to choose whichever one they want. So it's not like I'm throwing specifically my tapestry at you. I'm not throwing a specific design at you. You get to pick your favorite, and then they'll coordinate all of that. So that's amazing. Again, our goal is $2,000 by the end of the stream, and we're well on our way. Dethan, hello, saying, ooh, 13. Welcome back. We're being subscribed for 20 months in a row. and on a 13-month streak. Let's see. Hi, Lit Up Panda. Welcome in for the first time. And then David Zilla says, hi, Diana. I did D&D session and my necromancer wizard died. The guy asks if he can come back as an undead character, as like a semi-lich who unlocks powers as he goes. What's the best way to go about this, in your opinion? In my opinion, Grim Hollow is probably the best way to do it. I think Grim Hollow has a Lich subclass. Let's see, Grim Hollow Lich? Or they have like some variety of undead subclass. Yeah, so it's a transformation. I guess it depends on what level you're at. But yeah, I mean, you could be like a reborn on your way to becoming a lich, perhaps. That is which of course you have to be 13th level or higher. Grim Hollow is really well done. I personally absolutely love it. It's a really awesome like 5e supplement by Ghostfire Games, and so I recommend checking that out. That has a lot of like kind of evil style transformations. The only thing is you're gonna want to make sure that there are still consequences for dying, right? Especially if they died to a necromancer, they're gonna be under that necromancer's control, and that's gonna pull them away from the party for some amount of time anyway. So like just make sure that you're not giving them ultimate power for the fact that they died. Thomas says, also brief aside on the barboard, this is one that I made with Wenge and Leopard that I couldn't sell because it's too fancy compared to my normal models, so it's something truly special / custom. That's awesome! Also, Cash says, my Nerd Life has amazing tapestries. I have one. Yeah, they're, hold on, my Nerd Life. Let's see. All wares. The tapestries, I don't think I've ever looked at like all of the designs. They have the one that is, or is it under? Sorry, my internet is also dog shit. This is not their site. It's my the fact that I'm that I am streaming right now. Yeah. Okay. So these are all of the tapestries / blanket designs that they have. They showed me like the work in progresses of some of the art and things like that. This was like their newest one they showed off at PAX East. It's so cool. So you will be able to pick one of 10 designs that are available. Man, the whole site is so cool. They have cool shit. I like them a lot. They're also really big supporters of the channel. So let's see. Cheese Prop says you're doing fantastic. Thank you. And Deuce Covington says Undead Warlock too, if you don't want to stray too far from official content. Yeah, there is the Undead Warlock. There's also like evil subclasses coming out in the Unearthed Arcana, according to Kevin. So Yvette says, oh, I gotta pop off for dinner. See you guys in a bit. And yay, charity. Yeah. And then Lit Up Panda says, I want to play an Oathbreaker Pally, but everyone acts like they touch something nasty in the kitchen sink when I bring it up. I think that it's kind of like one of those things where people anticipate a certain type of backstory, but at that point, you may as well say that about any subclass, right? Like if I tell you, oh my god, I'm gonna be an assassin rogue, you instantly have like a, oh my god, edgy rogue who's like an orphan and I bet their parents are dead type thing. You probably imagine that already. So, you know, I get where they're coming from. I think it comes from a place of inexperience with D&D or inexperience with players who can't operate outside of existing stereotypes, you know? But anyway, Bubble Bath, here's the hydrate that you requested. Oh, also, Gory Gaming says, hey, I've been seeing your D&D shorts on Facebook. I'm at work right now, but I wanted to come by and say happy birthday and that I'm enjoying your content. Thank you. Thanks for swinging by. Dude, I also, speaking of like gaming news, which we absolutely were not speaking of, what the fuck is up with Superliminal lately? Why is everyone talking? Can someone fill me in? Because I remember seeing this game forever ago, back when it was like early. I actually didn't even know it was early access. I thought it was out. I'm pretty sure it was on my wish list because I thought it was like one of those games where you like move objects around and then based on the two-dimensional space, it like actually resizes them as according to your perspective, if that makes sense. Panda says it's like they're saying that it should be dark fantasy or certain campaigns that fit a dark aesthetic. Oh, absolutely not. If anything, like if you need to rework your player character to fit a certain aesthetic, that should be up to your DM to bring up to you, not the other players. And it like, I don't know. It's doable. Nothing should be discounted. Right, and I'm a person who introduces Warforged and all sorts of like really weird races and species into their fantasy games against my better judgment. I just reflavor it. So if the reflavoring is the issue, then, you know, who cares? It's very easy to work around. Let's see. Deuce says, I wish there was a Broken Oath Paladin option other than Oathbreaker's undead nonsense. Just play a pally who's lost his honor. Yeah, I imagine too, like if you're doing someone who's lost their honor, you can make it, or the GM could make it so that the transition into that particular subclass happens a bit more gradually, where I might even go into the player character sheet with permission and then just start like editing it for them and being like, oh my gosh, like, wow, that's crazy. You lost one of your cantrips and now all you have is chill touch now. Damn, I wonder how that happened. And then just have like a cryptic message from their god and all that sort of stuff, right? And then slowly make it so that they shift into an Oathbreaker style of gameplay, you know, kind of like in a way that is a little bit more gradual than just snapping your fingers and all of a sudden you have, you know, undead powers now. Jevin says amazing game. So that's the thing. Everyone is like talking about the fact that it's, I don't know, the perspective stuff seems really cool, and they like keep saying, what was it? Because it came out recently, like fully recently, right? And everyone was like, oh yeah, I saw all of this and I, you know, thought it was a really awesome puzzle game and I thought it'd be super fun with a bunch of forced perspective stuff. And now I'm seeing people on TikTok saying that it's actually just like fucking Poppy Playtime 6. And is it a horror game? People are saying that it's not actually that much of a puzzle game. Let's look up reviews. Hold on. Superliminal reviews. It's not a horror game. It's just puzzles. Am I insane? Why are people saying that it's more concepts to go on? Am I thinking of a different game? The hardest part of the puzzle was figuring out what room I was supposed to interact with. After that, it was just a matter of making it bigger to be a ramp or a stepping stool. It's an interesting concept, but it's poorly implemented. Oh, it gives up on puzzles and has you go through a walking tour of optical tricks instead. Fascinating. Okay. I'm thinking of a different game, maybe? Subliminal. Oh, what's Subliminal? A totally different game with the exact same font and style. Hold on. Hold on. Corbin wants you to find the difference between these two pictures. I was like, why is everyone hating on Superliminal so much? It looks cool. Got it. Okay. What was this one? Oh, this one is a horror game. Got it. Okay. I'm back on track now. I know what's going on. It's the same picture. It is the same picture. All right. Superliminal, or Subliminal, is a psychological horror game inspired by the back rooms, bleeding edge lighting and rendering, handcrafted open levels, light and perspective. So this is why I got confused, is because this is also a puzzle game, but it's also like a Poppy Playtime backroom style game, and people didn't like just another clone. Especially because I'm seeing a lot of backroom stuff recently. I was talking to, who was it? It wasn't Anna, was it? I was talking to someone on Threads the other day saying that, you know, books like House of Leaves are really, really popular recently, and that she's been seeing a lot of people reading them as of lately. And she was like, yeah, I wonder why. And I'm like, well, the Backrooms movie is coming out. So like that kind of makes sense why people are really liking liminal horror. Oh, and there's a liminal collection. What the fuck is wrong with me? Also, House of Dreams says House of Leaves is a classic. Yeah, I just started reading it. It is so unbelievably good. Holy shit. I'm not even that far into it, and just the way that all the information is presented and the author's style is so amazing that I want to emulate it so bad when I'm DMing. But it's also like a little bit difficult too, because it's inherently like first person, it's monologue style, because it's kind of an upper level review of a different piece of work. So it's not like you're describing actions and you're not describing people walking around and doing things as much as you are their inner monologue, which is hard to do in a tabletop game because you don't want to monologue at your players. But the wording that he uses in order to describe the descent into madness is crazy. Like there's a certain point in the book where they basically do this thing where they have you look at the page and they tell you, hey, your eyes are focused on this page right now. Don't stop that. Like, let that keep happening. Notice how your vision kind of like is blurry in the background? What if there was something creeping up on you right now? Like they just totally get so meta with it, and it actually is in a scary way, as opposed to like, oh, imagine a spooky thing in your closet. It's like they walk you through it, the slow descent into madness, and it's actually making me like eldritch horror, which is a fucking statement. I hate eldritch horror so much. So I think it's really cool. I think it's an experience. I think everyone should have that experience. It does take a little bit to wrap your mind around. It's not as erudite as a lot of people I think say it is, but I think it definitely takes some getting used to if you're not used to like cited works and all that sort of stuff. Cheese Prop says, that's cute, because that's how my mind is normally. One of us. Also, House of Dreams says, I once played in a Changeling the Dreaming LARP that used a lot of themes and elements from House of Leaves. That would be sick. That'd be so cool. Also, there was a hydrate during a posture. Ow. Ugh, I don't have enough room under my desk for a posture check. I don't know. Atomic Gnome says, you're describing House of Leaves and I'm thinking Leaves of Grass by Walt Whitman. Let's see. And Firebird says, I played with a paladin whose oath was to protect children, and during a battle, he accidentally missed a goblin and hit a child. That by all rights shouldn't have been there due to being a child, but was another player character. Oh, people are a little bit weird about player characters being children, and I understand why. I think you need special sensitivity to it, but I also feel like maybe GMs shouldn't totally discount it the way that they usually do. I don't know. Maybe I'm not the expert there, but... Anyway, the Paladin's gods stripped them of their fancy paladinness until they repented. Could be an idea for why an Oathbreaker might not actually be evil. I don't know. I think a good concept for a Paladin that I don't see often too is the concept of budding into sainthood that's not desired, right? Where you're being told by your god, because like a Paladin fucking up exactly once and having all their powers stripped isn't exactly realistic necessarily. I mean, it might be if you consider the gods are inherently not human. They are divine beings that completely embody whatever virtue that they happen to be the god of, right? And so it makes sense that a god of, you know, for example, justice would absolutely fucking hate it to an unreasonable degree and punish you disproportionately if you decide to be unjust for a moment. But if you have gods that underwent apotheosis, right, that were once humans and then became gods, they understand what it's like to be human. They'll probably forgive you. And they'll probably not take away the entirety of your oath and your paladinness for fucking up exactly once. So, in my head, one really good concept for a god and a paladin dynamic would be a character who is the paladin of a god that was once human. And the god achieved apotheosis or killed the old god of whatever they're the god of. So for example, if they're a god of, I don't know, home and hearth, right? Then let's say they killed the old god of home and hearth and they ascended to godhood, and now they have this paladin who they want to bring up as a saint. But the paladin is like, I don't know how I feel about all this sainthood stuff, especially because a saint is held to such rigid standards, you know, that it's fucking impossible to live up to. And the paladin keeps like getting their powers stripped away, and the god is like, hey, I don't want to have to keep doing this, but like we have to. I need a saint. I need someone to embody everything I have better than I ever could. So I'm gonna hold you to these really tough standards. And I like that sort of concept for a potential Oathbreaker line, you know? Let's see. Also, hi to Daves, and Matthew over on YouTube says, Matthew Pettigrew says, my friends and I homebrewed a new D&D species, the Sporeborn, which is a bipedal mushroom species, and I made a character that is a Sporeborn Way of Mercy monk, and I can't think of a name for the fucking life of me. So I would look at the Fungrel name generator over on Fantasy Name Generator. Fungrels are basically the same thing. They're like bipedal or humanoid-looking mushroom people, and they have a whole thing in Daggerheart. And so you can find a Fungrel name generator and just copy those names, honestly. Let's see. Clown Prince says, I watched one campaign that had a child NPC who had wild magic. Pretty standard, yeah. The whole, like, child who doesn't understand their own powers sort of thing is always fun. I had a child NPC concept once that was a necromancer, specifically, back before real necromancer classes were a thing in D&D. And the whole thing was that her parents were actually necromancers, and they, like, were gonna sacrifice her, but then she got away, or the thing, the undead or lich or whatever that they were gonna sacrifice her to decided to switch things up and was like, actually, I'm gonna kill the parents and keep the kid. And so the kid, like, inherited this book and inherited this power, but at the same time, they're now, like, orphaned and, you know, subject to all this necromantic energy that they didn't really know that their parents were involved in, and they're kind of, like, figuring out as they go the entire depths of all of that cult activity. So, yeah. Let's see. Deuce says, I played with someone whose character was a child prodigy wizard, but what made it work was that the character was a snot-nosed brat who deserved whatever happened to him. Also, Jeffin said, one of the girls in my Crooked Moon campaign is playing a child, a 10-year-old creepy doll. I so badly want to get more into Crooked Moon. I haven't talked about it a ton yet because I haven't had time to look at it, but it is so cool, and it's honestly one of my favorite, like, PR packages that I've ever gotten, was the full Crooked Moon, like, Kickstarter bundle, which was so cool. So Blush says, I've noticed as a dude who's pushing 40 that my peers who are parents get real sensitive about hints of any violence involving kids. It's not a line for me. Maybe it's too distant for me as child-free, but I totally get why it is for them. Oh yeah, 1000%. I find that a lot of people who had issues during their childhood or who have kids just absolutely cannot have anything along those lines in their tabletop games. It's a very common line, very common veil. And so, you know, that's where safety tools are important, you know. I am thankful I don't have to creep around that so much, especially because I play, again, you know, a lot of Curse of Strahd, which puts a lot of kids in danger, like a lot. And so I personally like those themes, but I get why a parent would not. And we should respect that, you know. Little Panda says, oh, or do a gore style story where you followed your god and found that the true definition of a saint or justice comes at the darkest aspects, that it only benefits one, like what's normal for a spider is chaos for the fly. Or do a Sun Wukong story where the paladin doesn't want to live up to his oath and relax, but the gods keep pushing him into active roles and it's the final straw. I am unfamiliar with both of those, but those are always fun. Just take like an existing story and then just kind of twist it into your needs. It's always super fun. Nimbus says, I'd love to know your thoughts on a fantasy TTRPG character that is a descended god, maybe running from the pantheon for having done so. I would only do it if the entire party was also part of that pantheon or connected to that pantheon. I really, really, really wouldn't recommend exactly one character having a path to godhood or having former godhood, because it is just like a fucking magnet for main character syndrome on all fronts. And so it would be really cool to do like this brief thing where you start off as a, oh my god, as a concept, right? Let's say that you start building your party, you build your team, everyone gets to choose one god that they used to be. And at the very start of the campaign, everyone does a one-shot, one-on-one, or maybe two-on-one with the DM, where they get to experience level 20 gameplay. Full on, you have a simple level 20 encounter, a combat, a social encounter, and that's it. It takes place over the course of maybe less than 2 hours, where the players get to feel what it's like to smite an entire village, for example. It doesn't even have to be like a balanced encounter. They can be so overpowered, and they'll be level 20. The encounter will be something significantly lower. They'll get to experience the full power that they have as that god, and then right at the very end of the one-shot, they get completely stripped of all of their powers and kicked back down to level 1. Or even level 0. There are level 0 adaptations for D&D. And then the entire campaign is this teeny little pantheon that is forced to work together, even if they have completely conflicting ideals and spheres, and they're working to get back up to level 20. I think it's fun. Let's see. Matthew says, what was the name generator you suggested again? That is called Fantasy Name Generators. And HHAT says, my daughter wants to try D&D. What would you recommend for a starting point? I would say, I don't know how old your daughter is, so it's really, really hard to say. Wild Sheep Chase, if she really wants to do D&D specifically, is a very easy starter module, both for the GM and the player, and it only takes like maybe 2 sessions. And it's not a lot of maps, it's not a lot of complications, it's level like 3. If she's really, really young, you could try the Wormlings TTRPG instead. And if she's neurodivergent and really young, then Adventuring Family might be a good start. They're all different, like, child-friendly TTRPGs. Brian Eden also says, I love the idea of playing a character that's a parent, but never seems feasible for parents to be away like that in a narrative way without the kids being in danger. It's hard for me to write that up. Oh, yeah. It's hard. I think, if anything, it would come down to servitude towards a higher power. Maybe they are blackmailed, maybe they are, some contract has come back forcing them away from their family and putting them into, like, debt to someone else. I don't know, something like that would probably be the easiest way to do it. Let's see, Little Panda says, I'm trying to get through Tyranny of Dragons so I can ramp up to a new campaign. I was brand new starting this one, but thanks to you and Brennan, I've learned too much and crave more. Aw, shoot. I always I love it when people, like, put my name in the same sentence as Brennan and Mercer as, like, people that they learned from. I do my best. As I mentioned the other day too, I'm gonna try and have this month's long form, actually it's technically last month's because I'm behind by a month. Last month's long form be like a compilation of player side advice, and then another one that's a compilation of DM side advice from all of my short forms, so that way people can just pop it on in the background while they're vacuuming or whatever, and maybe not vacuuming, while they're cleaning their house or watching something else or something like that, so that way they can kind of like absorb a bunch of info all in one spot, because it's all short form right now. It's kind of like scattered. Let's see. Cheese Prop says, I'd love to do something with a paladin of excess, but the issue is that the more they do, the less they feel, until they finally see behind the veil and understand it's all worthless and they're left empty and consumed by their excess. It kind of gives, like, Hopper to Prince vibes, in a sense. I'm making a character that's very similar for a secret project. Lena says, I made sure that harm to kids was a hard line in my BTM game. That's because all the names of all the mortals are real world people in the city it's set in. Oh shit, okay. And then also, Lugic says, Diana, will you play wiki speedruns where you try and see how quickly you can click between linked articles to get from point A to point B? I can try, yeah. House of Dreams says a level 20 intro session reminds me of the old SNES game Lufia. I have no experience with Nintendo games, and so I fully don't. Oh my god, did we reach another goal? No, this is the same one. Okay, cool. Sorry, I keep like not paying attention to the charity stream because I keep zoning in and talking about tabletop games. HHAT says she's 9 and watched too much Stranger Things. Okay, I would suggest the Draconis adaptation for D&D. It's called straight up just Draconis, and it's a kind of like dragon themed, child friendly version of D&D. It still uses 5e rules, but it's a little bit more simple and easier for a kid to understand. And it has to do with either like befriending dragons and wormlings and things like that. And it's very much designed in a way that is different from D&D in the sense that not everything has to be fought in order to surpass the encounter, you know. Hi, Thopternaut. Hello. Good to see you. And then Akoto says, a question, know of any way or best place to use for Reverend Quain adventures or lore building adventures with her as the focus? Not with her as the focus. I think that with the updated Ravenloft guides and the updated Shadowfell stuff that's going to come with it in the 2024 edition later this year, where they're doing like, I think it's like some more Strahd reworks and some more lore building for the Curse of Strahd campaign. That takes place in the Shadowfell. And the Shadowfell is the Raven Queen's domain, or she has a domain within it that's kind of tucked away somewhere. She has a domain of dread. So I think that can kind of help, but you might have to come up with your own system there. I don't know of any off the top of my head that center her, primarily because she's so elusive as a god that she's written to be like not understandable, essentially. Fox King says, I'm making an undead boss that is a paladin, begging their god to let them die, but they're constantly revived, never fully healed, and with extreme scars like his burns that have binded their flesh, holes in their bodies, or even rotten toward flesh. I love that sort of stuff. I like that body horror type stuff, honestly. House of Dreams says, you start the game with the boss battle at high level heroes, and then after defeating the big bad, the big game fast forwards 100 years, I think. You play as the new heroes and need to battle the big bad who has come back. It's very, it's giving like Infinity Blade a little bit. You know. Little Panda says, have you ever used a player to be an NPC in an active campaign that they are playing? My DM had me do it mainly to mess with one character, but man did it because fear and chaos. Oh, man did it cause fear and chaos with them and ultimately comedy for the remainder of the party. I've never had that because if a party member is active in a campaign, I usually try not to make them an NPC in that campaign, but inviting friends, especially other tabletop creators, to come be NPCs in a campaign for like a little guest spot is always so fun. Yeah, no, I think that stuff is really fun. I also think that I would only ever do that if the NPC was going to become a player character eventually. Like if I had, and this is one of my favorite things to do, by the way, and I've never gotten the chance to do it. There's this thing that you can do where if you really, really want to retire an old character, in a party, like let's say you wanted to try an artificer and you got to level 5 and you were like, you know what, I don't really like this artificer stuff anymore. I kind of want to try something else. I always maintain as a DM that anyone can switch up their class and subclass and whatever they want at any time. If it's a subclass, I'll provide a narrative reason for it and we can do it in game. If it's a whole class, a whole character, you're just sick of being a certain loadout and you want to switch it up, then I will kill off your old character. You can have your old character retire, whatever you feel is best. I'm not gonna take the reins on that one. That's up to the player character, how they want their character to go out. Or for the player to decide how they want the character to retire, whether it's in a coffin or normally. And once they do that, I tell that party member, that player, not to tell anyone else that they're leaving the campaign. And then what we can do is we can have an NPC go in and just straight up like murder the old player character and have everyone else helpless to help. Like everyone just has to watch and then slowly me as a DM, taking that NPC's information and sliding it across the table to the player and then having that player take on the NPC. There's a very clever way of doing it. And it depends on the circumstances, of course, but it'd be so fun. I really want to pull it off one of these days. Let's see. Pino says, do you mind if I share good news? Yeah, go for it. Absolutely. And Yves says, I'm thinking of making a homebrew short campaign where you're in a steampunk world and the vengeful nature gods are trying to destroy the world out of spite, and you have to go over the course of 5-ish sessions to reassemble a machine that manifests their spirits so they can be killed. We're at the secret ending where you also destroy magic tech to stop the world's exploitation by befriending the spirit when they manifest. I think that that's a tall order, given that the spirit is probably gonna have a fucking... It's gonna be very hard to switch at the last second, especially if your party is going at it from, oh my god, we're making this machine to kill this thing for the entirety of the campaign and the entirety of the sessions, and the very last minute being like, oh, actually, you can be friends with them. They're not gonna want to be friends with them. They've planned this whole time to kill that thing. Why would they stop now? I think it's very unlikely that they'll take that second route, but unless you seed in options and ways for them to be friends with that spirit throughout the entirety of the campaign, so they get the idea starting really early on that they have a second option. If you just drop it on them at the last minute that they have a second option, and you're like, oh, it's, by the way, it's an option to completely go back on everything that you've been doing up to this point, they're probably not going to take it, you know. Let's see. Yves says, should I add greedy businessmen that have been fucking the party over the whole time? Yes, but make sure they won't see through it, because the whole capitalism is the bad guy thing is kind of overdone nowadays. So be careful there about making it so explicit, and also giving it a face, because if you give it a face, then that face is a target, and then if they go after that face, they're gonna miss the actual point, you know. Pino says, I got pre-approved for a home loan and one step closer to owning my first house. Hell yeah, that's awesome. Oh my god. Let's see. And Gralu says the NPC Panda was referring to was a random NPC that I let him voice and create a personality for, but ultimately I intend to make a main antagonist. That's awesome. Okay, yeah, that's always fun. But yeah, congrats, Pino. We should probably hop into games, by the way. I just realized that it's like already almost 6 o'clock. So if you guys missed it, last stream, we started doing some gaming. Again, all in an effort to help raise money for the kids through Gamers Outreach. We are, wow, where the fuck is give me this. Yeah, my Tiltify. We are on our way to our $2,000 goal. Again, we have another giveaway unlocked at $1,900 and another at $2,000 raised. So far, we're having 5 things gifted to the community in the Discord. In order to be eligible for these giveaways, by the way, we are giving away a couple TTRPG tools, we're giving away a tapestry if we reach a certain amount, we're giving away some wooden like bar boards and cutting boards and dice vaults and things like that. You don't have to donate in order to enter the giveaway. It's just like the more money that gets donated, the more stuff we get to give away to the community. But to actually enter, just be in the Discord this weekend. And I will have something in the announcements channel. Let's see, Salt Mail says, how are we doing? We're doing good. We're doing good. We're playing Tiny Bookshop as part of our stream today. Madaloon sent us a copy of this, which was so cool, primarily because I didn't realize that it was, let's see, Tiny Bookshop. There we go. I thought that it was just straight up like a little shop simulator. I didn't realize that it was straight up like a whole ass Stardew Valley style, you know, manage your relationships with people, manage a store, deal with like quests around town type thing. I had no idea. Last time we met a couple, I think 3 or 4 of the NPCs around town. A couple of them were just kind of dicks, but most of them were fine. And we also hit net negative. We were in debt at a certain point. So we're doing better now, hopefully. But again, if you guys wanted to take a breather, donate some money to the charity, you can use !donate at any point throughout the stream to get taken straight there if you're watching on Twitch. Okay, so Mega Mart. A busy supermarket serving the community. This is where that new guy told us to go, I'm pretty sure. Where he was like, oh my god, yeah, we got our flower. Yeah. Okay. This definitely clashes with the skull, but I'm here for it. I also do like the guest book. Oh shit, Amaki used the typewriter. That's kind of nice. Okay, I do want to... Is this taking up both the spaces? Can I put it on the floor? Can I just straight up have like an old typewriter next to the tire? I probably won't do that. Let's push this to the back actually of the table. Come on, let me... I'm trying to like put it on that back sphere. It won't let me. All right, fine. I'll keep it there. I'll keep the cactus behind it, so that way no one pokes themselves, and we'll put the guest book next to it as well. Kind of for a cutesy little touch. I do want to get another flower box though, so I can replace this skull with something that's a little less morbid. We also need to go to the Mega Mart, and I'm gonna completely clear up this bookshelf. and take a look. So we're selling a lot of basically everything except kids shit because we have a skull. So let's do... People are asking for crime like crazy. I don't feel like we sell a lot of classics. Fantasy is good. Facts should go up at the top. I also want to add some drama. And then we'll add like 2 or 3 kids books just here and there. Kind of scattered in. Tastefully. You know, tastefully scattered in. Mix one in with the crime books so that way people can't tell if they're reading Miss Piggle Wiggle or Sherlock Holmes. Cheese Prop says crime is good fun. Also, Saltmill says, I love the D&D streams. Yay! Ah, thank you. Yeah, the D&D memes are a lot of fun. I wish I was better at writing skits, honestly. I really, like, I just don't have the time to be creative, if that makes sense. A lot of creativity comes from being bored, and I don't have the fucking time to sit around and, like, twiddle my thumbs enough to be bored about anything. Is that a sheep? They're just casual sheep here. Also, can I play? I was trying to play Baba Black Sheep, but I can't remember it. Also, this is a white sheep, so I feel appropriate doing that. Oh, I found a birdhouse? Hell yeah. Can I pick up anyone else's trash? No. Damn it. Okay. So this is the game. You can scroll around different environments. People will come up and buy books from you and all that sort of stuff, and you can give them recommendations. And I can activate my typewriter now that I'm open for the day, which seems kind of mean to just like immediately turn away from my customers in this fucking parking lot. And is the typewriter talking to me? Is this date everything? Did I like fall asleep and wake up in a different game? Oh my god. Also, Hadner says, I did something similar, but not quite the same in the Curse of Strahd campaign I was a player in. We were in the middle of a death house when my taxi was killed by ghouls, and the rest of the party rested up after the fight. The starving dog that the DM had introduced on an upper floor started stalking the party, and it sniffed for the corpse. My newest character did not leave any room for speculation, as if to my old character could be brought back. Ah, I see. Lucas says, why write skits when you can just showcase your cats and let them decide if you're gonna mulligan? I suppose. I need to come up with more skits involving the cats. Anytime something involves the cats, it does really well. Thopter says, do you have a huge backlog of character concepts, either as a player or a GM, and do you jot them down or keep them in your head? I have the privilege of being able to make videos about it, and so I usually have those. A lot of my members-only content is actually going to be the, like, ideas that I haven't been able to use yet in tabletop games, which are kind of previews for things that I will use eventually in actual plays and things like that. So you guys get a bit of an insider perspective on YouTube. But the typewriter seems kind of old-fashioned, beware. Yeah, it's just better left empty rather than writing anything. I'll come back with some ideas tomorrow. Oh, because I'm supposed to be writing a book. I forgot about that. That's right. This character is like, oh, there's a book I've always wanted to write, and is this mart just gonna be closed? Are they closed on Sundays? What the fuck kind of grocery store is closed on Sunday? Where am I? This is hell. Also, is no one... Oh, that means I'm not gonna get any business. Oh, never mind. Hi. Oh, hello. Never mind. I'll get some business. But damn, I didn't even think about that. I didn't think I had to pay attention to like the closing and opening of the stores. Are you in France? I think? Oh god, I broke it. Oh no. They do have some French vibes. Hi, Klaus. Hey mate, nice to see you again. Do you mind if I hang around a bit? I need to do some writing. They do also say bait quite a bit though, so I do feel like there's some Australia. It's like right at the intersection of Australia and France right there. Also known as the Seventh Circle of Hell. Do you know how I told you about my band? Yeah, well, I wanted to work on a concept album where our bassist is away. It hasn't been going super well. I even took off some time to focus better, but I'm just absolutely out of ideas here. It's been weeks and I got nothing. I'm starting to get a little bit stressed, to be honest with you. Don't want to disappoint everyone. Got any ideas for me? A song about getting drunk or a song about heartbreak? A song about heartbreak is really poetic, which I feel like that's what this game wants me to do. I also feel like that's kind of a basic bitch answer. So I don't know if I want to have him write a song about her. Fuck it. Ah, nah, mate. Romance isn't really my thing, so I wouldn't know anything about that. I want more of a prog rock thing going on. Like a whole album needs to tell a story about getting drunk. That's not exactly a good look. Well, I'll have another think about it. Peace out. All right. Buy a book on your way out. Thank you. Hello. So it's kind of like this thing. The way this game works is like people will search for a book and they'll take it off the shelf and I will slowly run out of inventory through the day. And people will also ask for suggestions and bassist versus bassist. And if I can provide them a good suggestion, it provides me like a bonus for the rest of the next 15 seconds functionally. So Blush says, when I was in high school, my buddy named his dwarf in WoW Mate. And the first time I tried the game on his character, I was so confused why everyone kept talking like Australians. That's actually kind of fucking funny. All right, I'm sorry, I have to pick on my kid in a bit. I want gore galore. And I quite like a thrilling story. I thought he was about to tell me that this was for his kid. Okay, so if you want gore, we could do Silence of the Lambs. Let's see, a whodunit manga series. Drama, mystery, and tragedy don't really count as thriller. Egyptian... Death on the Nile isn't really gory. Anxious people. There are also options to, like, have a... God, what do you call it? There's options to give people something that's not within the category that you would normally think of. Like, this guy is... He's giving me crime vibes, but there might also be gore and thriller stuff in in like fantasy somewhere. Battle Royale. God, the original Battle Royale. House Moving Castle. Chain Gang All Stars. A brutal dystopian novel. War galore. Maybe this is doable. It's marked as mature reading. So let's try that. Yeah, he likes it. Okay, so the hearts mean that this is like the perfect suggestion for someone. He's doing a little dancey dance. It'll give me a bonus for everyone who's coming in to buy books from here on out, which is great. Let's see. Dude says, do I remember Dinah talking about going to gaming weekends, retreat / cabin sort of thing a little while back? How'd that go? And any chance you might share your thoughts on the experience? I've done that before myself, and it was real fun. It's really fun. You do need to have the right people for it. You guys need to have a preconceived notion of what exactly you're going to do, and you want to make sure that people aren't going to be, like, fighting to go hiking, whereas the rest of the party wants to stick around and do a bunch of cooking inside the cabin, whereas the third group just wants to stay in the cabin. So be realistic about what you can actually do with your time. But beyond that, we had a fucking blast. We want to do it again next year, where we like go out to some of the like restaurants around the area and to some of the little bars. Also, we had like no internet the whole time unless we were in the cabin, so that was also kind of a problem when it came to like, you know, not being bored as hell waiting for our food to arrive at some little dinky little bar that happened to sell breakfast. But yeah, go with the right people, you know. We had a super chill group that like we only knew through content creation who were like writers for the tabletop space, and they're like amazingly funny and wonderful to hang out with. They're not dramatic. They didn't sit around and like gossip the whole time. They just straight up like, you know, we just enjoyed each other's company and got to chatting. And it doesn't have to be people you know super well either. I had never hung out with half of these people like in outside of a convention before. And they actually, any of them, now that I think about it, and they were all amazing and so much fun. And now we play Magic quite regularly online as well. All right, what a week. I want something that's part of a series. I'll rage if I have to read another so-called classic, though. Okay, so fucking hates classics. Good to know. Something that's part of a series, we could do The Hunger Games? That's not really a classic. It's from fucking 2008. I also like that they have real books, you know? Is this from 1980? Yeah, let's do The Hunger Games. Maybe you might think it's a little too... Okay, yeah, I can't wait to get to the next part. Perfect. Easy. I was gonna say, if they don't like classics, maybe they just don't like anything that's popular, but they seem okay. Cheerio, I suppose. Let's see. Deuce says the right people is definitely key. Would be brutal to wrong ones. Also, hi, hello. Everyone say hi to Figgy. Let's see. Okay. This guy's on the phone. He says, shh, honey, we're talking to the bookseller right now. The drama, the style, the emotions. It has to be a play for me. Also, I'm not afraid of a bit of tragedy. Okay, so he definitely wants like a classic. I don't think we have any plays. Titus Andronicus might be an incredibly violent Shakespeare play. Sure. It's a low difficulty. Yeah, okay, sweet. Oh wow, I'm gonna highlight the stage directions right away. All right. All right, fine. Yeah, fine. That's fine. Pride and Prejudice. Oh, is that a play? I thought Pride and Prejudice was, like, just a book, like a normal book. Fox King says, I'm still waiting for Language of Seabirds. Language of Seabirds is a gay novel placed on a beach that dances around confession because neither character confesses till the end. And I don't know if they're going to have an ending because they live what they describe as forever apart. Like physically or like emotionally? All right, no one tell anyone that I broke that sign, by the way. Pride and Prejudice is a lot of things. Oh. I only vaguely know Pride and Prejudice and zombies, and only by one clip that I've seen on TikTok. I know fuck all else. Sky, let's see, wait, hold on. He says Pride and Prejudice and zombies is the thing as well. Were they actually zombies, or were the zombies like a fucking metaphor for something? Because I wouldn't put it past them to be like, oh, the zombies represent the patriarchy and all that sort of stuff. Oh wait, I should actually pick where I'm gonna go for the day. Let's head back to the square. It's kind of the starter area, but it's also really cheap. Now let's go to the cafe. Let's go to the cafe. There's plenty of stuff there. We can make it so that, God, we're kind of selling everything, really. Travel. We'll put travel books at the bottom where they belong. Kids down at the bottom, also where they belong, mostly because it's like eye level. I'm gonna toss some fact books like up here, but we haven't really sold too many of those. People really fucking like crime, so we'll kind of stick to that. The fantasy is also not the worst option in the world, so maybe, how does that spread look? That seems fine. A lot of people like the travel books, actually. Maybe I should do, yeah, let's do that. Little Panda says, weird fact, I have a tattoo of a quote from Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. Oh my god. And Yves says, fun fact, Shakespeare sounds better in American accents because it's the original English accent from hundreds of years ago due to avoiding linguistic drift by sprouting off from the main culture. Yeah, I wonder how we managed to avoid linguistic drift as, like, fucking Americans. How does it even work? Because, like, we've bottlenecked ourselves functionally. In theory, we should have evolved in a way that, I don't know, shouldn't we have? Maybe I'm crazy. Oh, hello. First customer of the day. How have you been? You better not steal any books. I see that backpack. All right, I need some inspiration, he says. Give me a book about plants or rocks or animals, as long as it's about nature. But pop science isn't really my thing. Dragonology. No, I'm not going to give you dragonology. Okay. A book about nature that's not pop science? What the fuck is pop science? Okay. Do you want like a travel book? That's not really plants. Women travel solo. You definitely don't want that. Atlas of countries that don't exist. Oh, interesting. Long unwinding road, hills and valleys of Wales. Let's see. A memoir. Fact books. Okay. Chemistry. No. Architecture. Fuck no. Deadly diseases? That's kind of fun. Understanding comics, historical niche, Russians in Alaska. I don't know what to do here. Should I give him dragonology as a joke? We love deadly diseases in this house. Okay, well, should I... It's between dragonology and the diseases one. Which is... Where is it? Here we go. Horrible science. Let's do dragonology. Fuck it. You didn't say it has to be true. In what way is dragonology about nature? How fucking dare you? Dragons are nature? Man. Also, Brayden just says, wait, I just looked it up. I feel like we've 100% had linguistic drift in our own way. I feel that's true. That's fair. Find somewhere else that has a Texan accent, you know? Fox King says, I plan to make a continuation, so undead paladins, so that the paladin refuses to die, killing most of the beasts, blah, 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 blah. He's finally gifted, once the players kill him for the final time, oh, he gets peace. Got it. They fight him for about 5 times and he goes stronger each time, but also becomes more mangled, scarred, and rotten each time. That's so cool. Also, Cheese Pro says dragons are fully nature. They are! Also, if you don't want pop science, what the fuck do you want? Get out of my store. Never show your face around here again. Oh right. Try recommending books to Klaus and talking to him often to find a album that he can make. Okay. So maybe I was destined to fail that quest where he was like, hey, what do I make a song about. Oh my gosh. Hi. What was your name again? Leaf? Fern. Close enough. Maybe that's maybe like no matter what I recommended, he absolutely just wouldn't like it, and he's like, no, I want to create something unique, and then that prompts the quest to start. Oh, hello. Retirement is the best. All the world's a stage, so give me a play. I'm looking for some a new pastime, and I could use some ideas. Okay, a play. Do I have plays? I have plays. Would they be under fantasy? Oh, Macbeth. Easy. Fucking simple as shit. Unconventional? What the fuck do you mean unconventional? That's like the most conventional you can get. But I'm gonna highlight the stage directions right away. All right, yep. Sure, buddy. You're not like other girls at all, huh? Goodness. Let's see. Deuce says back to the real world. I'll catch you all in the Discord. Yeah, if you guys haven't joined the Discord already, it is where we're gonna be doing the giveaways this weekend. Not Discords, Discord. There we go. Hi, Tilda. Hello, dear. Can I give you a word of advice? This bitch is still trying to backseat Bookstore own me. You'll probably soon gather some regulars, people who will always return to your shop and who like to chat. Yeah, bitch, look at a mirror. You have not left me alone since I moved to this town. I feel like I'm getting subtly harassed by the HOA. In my experience, they always greatly appreciate it if you can remember some details about them. Maybe last week they told you about their hobby or that their birthday is coming up, so write these down in your journal. For example, Harper's celebrating her birthday soon. And you know how important birthdays are at that age. Here, lend me that journal for a minute. I'll fill in the dates I can remember off the top of my head. Oh, Jesus. Hi, Miriam. Ah, there you are. I have something prepared for you. Since it seems your business is doing well enough, I think it's time to welcome you into our circle. I'm the chair- Oh my god, I was joking about the HOA thing. Oh no. You see, I'm the chairwoman of the Buxtonbury Local Association of Business, Leadership, and Administration. Ah yes, the blah blah. We support each other in all small business matters, and Tilda and I agreed you would be a good fit. However, before I can officially admit you, I must ensure that you adhere to our standards. The pillars of business that uphold our association are not to be trifled with. Your association is called the fucking blah blah, lady. Also, you keep putting your glasses on and off. I don't know if I trust your opinion on anything. Some of them have been in place since 1798, but we'll see if you can master them. Next time you come by the Liberté, we will begin our little business course, and I will see you then. These two deserve each other. And I mean that in the meanest way possible. Alright, what do you want? She says, so, what has been selling well today? I'm interested in learning about history, and I'd love to read something classic. I really enjoyed Towards a New Architecture, a manifesto that calls for architecture for modern times. Okay. Something classic. Oh, I don't have any classics. Do I? Oh, I do. Okay. I forgot I had to click. Let's see. Fact. Fantasy, fact, kids, travel. Am I out of classics? What color are classics? Oh, there we go. Okay. The Industrial Revolution, New Hampshire, Robert Frost poems. Interested in learning about history. Okay, yeah, let's do that. The Industrial Revolution, social justice, romance. It's fiction. Okay, are you sure this is factual? Sorry. My bad. Maybe if I make her hate me enough, then she'll never come back and she won't want me to join her little HOA shit. Let's see. Yvette says, Diana, would you play a horror campaign that starts out in My Little Pony? Your Care Bears levels of sweetness, but all the cute creatures slowly start showing their true selves until you're surrounded by eldritch monstrosities that were once harmless, glittery animals. I'd be interested in writing something like that. I don't know if I'd trust someone else to write it in a way that I'd want to portray it, or if I did play something like that, I would probably entirely rewrite it before playing it, only because that slow transition needs to be hinted at very carefully so it doesn't seem too heavy-handed, if that makes sense. All right, I want to look up people's birthdays. Harper's birthday's coming up. Eats facts and trivia for breakfast. Is a bit of a know-it-all. She's at the flea market. And her birthday is summer 12. Okay. Summer 12. Well, it's not... What day is it? The flea market's a ways away. Today's summer 9. So I think we should go back to the Mega Mart and hope that it's not closed this time. Let's get rid of all these books and start over again. We're gonna toss down a lot more classics so I have more options. No one really liked the fact books, to be honest, so I think I'll replace a good amount of those with like drama and crime. A couple of kids books just for funsies, but travel seems to be kind of the big one. I do need some fantasy. No, I don't actually. I'm not selling those well. Let's do this. Couple more fact books. That seems... That feels right. Cool, let's go. Let's see. All right, I'm off. I gotta do yard work and then plan a certain encounter. Oh yeah, I'll see you tomorrow, dude. And then this says more smut. Oh, I wish, but apparently that's not an option. I do wish I could unlock more categories in this game, you know? Not that I want smut specifically, but I feel like there's gotta be more than like fantasy, right? That's a category for sure, but I wish it subdivided it into science fiction or, you know, dystopian or things like that. Hello. Because otherwise, like, I'm not very good at picking up on that from the simple little descriptions that they have. So I would far prefer to see it in that way. Oh my gosh, thank you for buying a crime book. Good to see you. Good to see you. Also a drama book. Amazing. You have excellent tastes. And another crime. Yep. Okay. You're not planning anything, are you? So people will, as long as they keep finding books that they're looking for, they will continue a streak of buying until they get stuck and then they ask me for help, in which case I might accidentally chase them away. What a week! I'm a fan of world-renowned detectives, and I typically pick books from a series. Do you have anything like Violets Are Blue? Okay. A bloody case with a macabre murder. So you want crime, an emotional mystery with a touch of sci-fi. It's not part of a series. The Cask of Amontillado. How about Molly the Maid? Kind of a wild choice. Cleaning up after incompetent cops sounds about right. Yeah, I've sold like 3 copies of that book specifically, I think, at this point. So, you know, glad you like it. Hello. Hello. Oh, this little seagull's hanging out there. Hey, Klaus! Hey there, I'm still on the lookout for album inspo. You don't happen to have a book that could help me out, do you? I heard the nonfiction here is good. I wouldn't mind something niche, and historical settings appeal to me. Okay. Let's see. Something niche and historical. How about women, race, and class? Maybe not. How about All of the House of Usher, Annabelle Lee, Rebecca? No. I don't really have a historical setting unless you just straight up want to read the second book in the Encyclopedia Bostonia. How about travel, maybe? Into the Sunset, the Magical West. The mythical and exotic lands of Western Europe. But that's not history. Anecdotes with whimsical exaggerations that captures the author's view of his hometown. Okay. I don't know if this counts as like a historical setting, but it's in the past. It's 1870s. That's pretty historic. Yeah, okay, he says Edinburgh sounds interesting. Great. Hell yeah, it seems dope. Thanks, mate. This is a massive help. I'll be back here soon. I helped. Fox King says, I would let you write a campaign for me. I'm a new player in designated DM. Yeah, I get that quite a bit. I am trying to write something a little bit. I will keep you guys posted when it comes out. It's less me writing, more just me doing the base design and someone else doing all the actual work. But that might potentially be a thing. Yay. Oh my god, I sold out of crime instantly. What is with this town? Why is everyone so obsessed with crime? Man. Okay. What do you want? I feel like reading a literary fiction novel, and I usually enjoy a classic piece of literature, but I don't really have any time for anything over 700 pages. Okay. Classic, thin literature. I mean, literary fiction. It's not, I mean, you probably don't want the poems, so yeah, okay, that was a perfect rec. Hell yeah. Lit Up Panda says, child's book and get out your shop. Let's see, Nimbus says, working on a superhero TTRPG in my limited downtime. One of these days, I will dedicate myself to finishing it. Yeah, that'll always be fun. Also, Liz, hello! Guys, everyone say hi to Liz of Lorvin. She was the one who created that deck for me over on Instagram and TikTok. It was like all Diana themed, and it had like the kitties in it. It had roses. It was fun. It was a Golgari deck. It was awesome. Anyway, Liz says, kind of random, but when you do homebrew, do you test it out first to make sure it's balanced, or do you just fudge it when it goes wrong? I fudge things, but I also use balancers for things like, so there's this thing, oh god, what is it called? I forget the name, but there's websites that you can use to balance encounters based on the level of your party and the amount of XP that the creature has, as well as its like CR level and things like that. And I use that to like double check my work to make sure that I am balancing for the correct amount of people and for the party strength and all that if I'm doing an encounter fully raw. But I also believe, especially when it comes to boss fights, that you are so allowed to let the fight end when it, in theory, thematically should, as opposed to like when hit points go down to 0, if that makes sense. And so I don't personally like test it, but I run it against a calculator. I might also like, I don't know, run through like a theoretical fight myself, but not really like a real fight. It's more like me being like, oh, if I have this player class, like, could I break the game using this class ability? Or could I break the game using this or this or this that is available to my players? And so, like, I just also double check. It's more like prodding for weak points, if that makes sense. Yvette says, Diana, how'd you start doing charity streams? I'm thinking of getting into streaming because it seems fun and I would want to support amazing causes like Gamers Outreach if I end up streaming as a hobby. Yeah, I just started. So initially I started because Twitch headhunted me. They saw that I was good at TikToks and short form content, and they invited me to what they called their... it was a program of sorts that let me stream with them. And I got immediately launched into affiliate status from the get-go. And then they also provided like a coach and other things to help with the channel growth. I think a large part of streaming success, though, tends to come from having an existing audience somewhere else. And so like, keep that in mind. But also keep in mind that the average Twitch viewership is 2. So really, the bar for success is lower than people think it is. Don't think just because I have like, 100 viewers that's normal. It is very much not. And a lot of it comes from people who follow from other platforms like all y'all. So, yeah. Sir Mattman over on Instagram says, don't test it. If the party dies, that's on them. Hi, Anne. It's nice to have you here. Such a great spot, don't you think? I've already seen some people with your crime and fantasy titles in hand. And I have a fun/sad plant fact for you. Because of the whole photosynthesis thing, we tend to put our plants outside, which can be very nice. They might love that. But when you put some houseplants into direct sunlight, they can actually get sunburned. So keep an eye out for any brown spots. Why does the game think I need plant tips? I'm not gonna look into that. Let's see. Liz says, I have to check for that because I'm fudging things right now. But for my zombie TTRPG, I do have to have stats and everything balanced before I release it. Yeah, I don't know. If it's based on 5e, yes. It kind of depends on the system. If it's a Powered by the Apocalypse game, you also just don't need stats at all. All you need is guidance for the DM on how to work through the campaign, or work through the encounters. They don't always have to be crunchy, if that makes sense. But I'm also not a writer, so I don't know what I talk about. I get to pick a book. Give me something about a grim, dark dystopian world, and I have a soft spot for science fiction. Also, I enjoy escaping with a good YA novel. Okay. So fantasy, probably. Definitely not The Green Mile. Despero, no. Song for the Wild built. A futuristic world. The Last Battle. Once Upon a River. Housekeeper and the Professor. A drama. What's the, I don't know if I have anything for her. Okay. Ghost Stories from the Grave. No. True Grit. No. The Chalk Man? One of these has to be dystopian, right? No. A manga. Medieval Carpentry is crazy. I kind of love that. There's not a lot of science fiction here. Yeah, I might not have anything for her. The Pallbearers Club. This Golden State. I mean, let me send a YA novel at you. This doesn't fill me with a sense of foreboding dread at all. I'm sorry, I don't have anything. I don't have any dystopians right now. That's my bad. Let's see, Yvette says the game isn't aware of your affinity for dead houseplants yet, but it'll learn. God damn it. You guys are so mean. My houseplants are fine. Don't look over there. They're all like sitting on my bookshelf as like set dressing for now. I had someone walk in the other day to my apartment. They were dropping something off and they were like, "Hey, your apartment is actually like really nice. You have so many alive houseplants." And I was like, "Yeah, that's purely because I replaced them before they, after they die, before anyone sees them." Lit Up says, "Well, shit fire. I just saw your stream schedule and I'm only off on Wednesdays every other week. Life of an Amazon dispatcher." Oh, I didn't know an Amazon dispatcher was a thing, but I guess that makes sense. All right, it's bring a book to school day. I'd like something with a fantasy world. I don't really like scary stuff though. Okay, fantasy. And this is a child? A child headed to school with a fucking inner tube around their waist? Okay, I'm not gonna give you the Green Mile. I could give you Despero, but it's kind of a kid's book. I don't know if I can recommend the last book in a series, vaguely. Wait, hold on. The Last Battle Chronicles of Narnia. I totally missed over this. Hold on, it says it's almost Judgment Day in Narnia, like actual Christian Judgment Day, where Lion Jesus sends all the good guys to heaven at the end. The metaphor is no longer subtle at all. Jesus, Lewis, what the fuck? Let's do Despero. Because it's not scary, and it doesn't have Lion Jesus in it. So, I don't know how old this person is, this kid is, but it would help a lot if I had a vague age. Yves says give the child the Green Mile. I'm not giving the child the Green Mile. Bring on the Antichrist versus the lion. Is that actually what happens? Oh, wait, hold on. Harper's crying. What the fuck? My mom said we don't have to go home, or we have to go home, but I don't have all my shells yet. Shells? It's where you study stuff from the sea, like starfish and mermaids and clams. That's marine biology, so I need seashells to look at them for science. Can you pick some up for me? I'll give you my special marine biologist device, which is just a fucking jar. Oh my god, she wants me to pick up fucking 12 seashells for her? Kid, at what point should I start charging for my services? I got a business to run. All right, what up? What do you want? I need a fact book because I want to acquire knowledge, but I detest pop science. Yep, I already finished the last one. Okay, you want a fact book. War of the Roses, facial disfigurement, feminist queer. Okay, can I give you this? Interesting, I can't wait to learn more. Yay! Okay, man, we're turning her into a young feminist. This is great. I need to pick up more shells for her though. Goodness, I'm gonna have to come here like 7 days in a row to make this work. Also, it's probably gonna give me like another encumbrance debuff or something. Oh, shit. Oh, there's my ball. Oh, hell yeah, I helped someone. I thought I was just knocking it into the sea for funsies, but that works. Oh, but Lit Up Panda says, but it said Crip, so she'll also be a gangster. I hope, you know, in this teeny little town where everyone seems to be really enamored with books, someone's got to go against the grain. Also, hi, Jay. Welcome in for the first time. Let's see. Okay, so we're at $54. We can pick up some books for free that someone found in their attic. I don't... Yeah, I'll go to the seaside again. Yeah, why not? We'll just throw all our decorations down. May as well. They're giving us pretty decent bonuses. I don't think Harper's birthday is until... When is it? On the 12th? What day is it? The 9th? The 10th? Oh, it's the 11th. Okay, so let's do the Waterfront Square one more time, the beginner area, and then we'll walk back to the seaside in order to definitely see Harper on her birthday. I don't know what that actually does, I will say. I'm not 100% certain. Also, can I buy more bookshelves at all, or am I just, like, not allowed to? Let's do that. Toss some drama up here. People fucking love crime. So let's do some more crime books. Easy. Lou says, oh, Maddie's playing the Vampire Therapist game. Oh, hell yeah! We can go right into her if we want. We do have about 7 minutes left in stream. We're still working towards our goal of $2,000 for Gamers Outreach. If we make that, we'll have 2 more. That is 2 giveaways in the Discord. One is for a tapestry and one is for a roast board handmade by Thomas Tusano. We have a bunch of giveaways already unlocked. We have like fucking 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 5 or 6 different items that we're giving away in the Discord this weekend. So be sure to check it out. Either way, you do not have to have donated to enter the giveaway. But the more that everyone donates towards this amazing cause, then the more that gets given away and the better chance you have. So it's kind of it doesn't hurt, you know. Have a look, matey. Oh, yeah, right. You were selling the dead fish and all this sort of... And really overpriced fucking globes and shit. All right, I heard you gave Tilda a hand with clearing out her shop. I'm sure she appreciated that, but also maybe you should check in on her from time to time. She'll have a hard time letting go of her stuff. Always been that way ever since I've known her. Okay. A dog! Hello! Wait. This little stray seems a bit hungry. I can give the dog... Yeah, I want to pet the dog. It's still asking for food. Who's a good boy? Do I have any food? Can I kill a seagull? Can I, like... Shit. Do you have any food, mister? God damn it. How do I get the dog a treat? Okay. Just dropping by real quick. Give me something with a low page count. I tend to lean a little towards non-fiction. But self-help books are not usually my cup of tea. Oh, are you... Yeah, not usually. Okay. A low page count. Not self-help. Non-fiction. Kitchen adventures. Tales of Norse mythology. Why not? Oh, shit. You wanted, like, a low page count. Oh, my bad. Well, maybe you'll like it? God, why is everyone jogging? Let's see. Little Panda says, why are you excited to kill a seagull? I want to give the dog something. Hello. Hello, buddy. Do you want a book? You want a book? Who's your good boy? Oh, this is so great. Where did you even come from? Oh, hey, it's working. Oh my god, I can actually look through the... Can I click on things? There's nothing to see. This looks like a nest, though. Maybe there's like, either there's a quest to find someone's hidden fucking jacket or something like that, or that's a nest for a bird that is also probably part of a quest. But I discovered the lighthouse. That's good. Okay. Hey, Tilda. Where the fuck do you keep showing up from? It's like that scene from The Office where, like, what's-her-fuck just pops up behind Dwight. She just shows up everywhere. I still have a few book-selling essentials left over from the flea market. You can take them off my hands at the next one this Saturday. And if not, it's always a nice opportunity to browse for some items. Don't miss it, dear. Bye-bye for now. Okay. Okay. Glad she still likes crime. I have to sell it somehow. Dude, you don't have... Are you stealing something? Why are you running so much? Why is everyone running? Stop! Come back! You actually have a tote bag and a suspiciously warm fucking hat in the middle of... Surely that's for the security cameras. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, no, I didn't help people. Why is everyone running away from my store? I bet it's the fucking goals. Hi, Fern! Nimbus says tidal wave takes out the town. I dropped in today hoping to find a new book. I'm nearing the end of a 10-part series I really like. That is a godly sharp pencil, dude. I am genuinely envious at the sharpness of that pencil. That looks amazing. I'm nearing the end of a 10-part series. It's... never mind, it's embarrassing. Anyways, I could use some advice on what to read next. Okay. Smut. I'm a huge sci-fi nerd. Sci-fi smut. I enjoy a good classic from time to time, and the longer the book, the better. I hope it's not too much of a bother. Ooh, okay. So a really long book. A classic that's sci-fi. I don't have Dune, unfortunately. And 300 pages doesn't seem like it'll be that long. Okay, okay. The longer the book, the better. Science fiction. Gone Girl isn't really science fiction, is it? Homestuck? Probably not. I don't think we need an encyclopedia of gardening. Is Gulliver's Travels? Yeah, it's okay. It's proto-science fiction. And it's a classic. It's not that long, but like it is science fiction, technically. Already says to consider my mind blown. There's no way this book nerd hasn't fucking read Gulliver's Travels. This is great, thank you. I look forward to starting it. How about you? Are you an avid reader? Now and then. I guess being surrounded by books every day can dull their shine. That is not what I meant. I meant like literally I have like phases. I have like 3 books that I bought in quick succession. Most of which are manga, to be fair, but horror books specifically. 3 or 4 that I bought in rapid succession. Oh, that I have not read yet because I have to go through phases or to be in really long car rides or something like that, you know? Luke says the book's name is actually Gulliver's Travels. Nimbus says donate, donate, donate. Oh, did we get more? Not yet. We're almost there. We're at $1,756.96 raised for the kids. We're getting there. I'll take another look at your shelves then. Okay. Hello. This cute couple. All right. Travel light moves fast. I really want more shelves. I wonder if that's... Does anyone know if that's a thing that we can unlock? Also, Thomas says shop classes of Soulcraft is a really good one that I actually used for my thesis in college. Oh, and Yvette says you're looking eepy, Diana, early morning. Yeah, the cats woke me up. Granted, they woke me up after my alarm, so, like, it's fine, but, I'm used to... Oh, God, I'm used to waking up at, like, 10 at the earliest if left to my own devices, and then maybe, like, noon, normally. You know. Ideally. In a perfect world. That's also with a vitamin D deficiency, though, so... let's see. Yvette says, well, yeah, I'm also probably going to be working late on a project that I cannot talk about. Okay, so tomorrow we have the weekly flea market. Fern did a detailed breakdown of... What the fuck kind of headline is this? Hang on, this headline just says, bookseller continues to sell books. Yeah, no fucking shit, I'm selling books. Has he just been doing that the whole time? I don't think these updates are... Does nothing happen in this town? Oh, okay. There's gore books, there's fantasy, poetry, used books for free. I think I'm gonna kind of live frugally for a little bit and go with the free books for quite a while. I didn't pick up anything new. But I do need to go to the beach because this is What's Her Fuck's birthday. So we'll stock up on some more... Ooh, classics. Definitely some more classics. We also need to sell more travel books. I feel like people who are at the beach tend to be traveling, so it would make sense. We have a lot of fact books. We have a lot of just books in general. I don't know why I keep buying books. I truly don't need them. Hi, Debauchery. Hello, hello. Cheese Ruff says, bookseller sells book. Smut on request. Exactly. The true headline. We've also got some more seashells that we can pick up. I also completed a quest, which is nice. Here we go. Here we go. I think that's all we have for today. Seashell-wise. Oh, no, that isn't one. I think that little bit of grass tricked me. Let's knock this back down to whoever lost it again. Hello. Okay. First thing in the morning, huh? Jesus. I'm sorry, I have to pick up my kid in a bit. Plot twists are a must, and give me a crime story and make it thrilling. White Knight is one of my all-time favorites. Okay. A crime. A crime with a twist. Puzzle along as the twists and turns of this clever case unfold. Yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, perfect. The Westing game. I feel like I've heard that name before, but I don't think I know the book. Luke says my other charity friends appear to be offline. Oh, there's no worries. Yeah, I mean, the charity's gonna be open at least until Friday, if not longer. So even if we don't make the goal now, then that is A-okay. And we also have more charities to come later in the month. So even if you can't give, thank you guys so much for hanging out and like vibing with us. We should probably skedaddle actually, because I have to get back to work, unfortunately, but we are ending our charity streams at a lovely number. We are at 17,100, not 17,000, not that. Chill out. Okay, $1,756.90. Jesus. Oh. Okay. Wait. Cheese Rob says who donated. Yeah, who the fuck donated? Oh, Ryan! Nimbus Comics donated again. We also had Pseudologia, Muriak, an anonymous donor, Lukage. We had so many donors. Process Hydra, Eric, Drandra, Signasty Nades. You guys are so amazing. Thank you so much for all the donations today. We had last minute $243.04 to bring us to exactly 2,000, which means all of the giveaways are unlocked, which is absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much to everyone, to Nimbus, who donated several times, like several hundreds of dollars, Akoda, who's in second place, Ryan, Nimbus also in, wait, hold on, yeah, no, this, it didn't collect it together, I'm sorry, but yeah, you're definitely number one. Sick Nasty Nades at $250, this is insane. Thomas says, look, I'm going to the store for more boxes, let's go. Yeah, you guys are fantastic. Thank you all so much. This is wonderful. Nimbus says get donated, friends. This is Amazing. Gamers Outreach is fantastic to work with. They're going to be so excited. For those who are wanting to support Gamers Outreach after this stream, you can do so directly at gamersoutreach.com, let's see, I think it's !giving will take you to a page that has all their information about specifically what they do, all their different programs, and how they help out kids in hospitals, because joy is important and in short supply nowadays. So thank you all so much. Again, the giveaways will happen in the Discord this weekend. What'll happen is if you join the Discord, you don't have to say anything. I don't think you even have to agree to the rules to be able to see it, but there will be an announcements channel where sometime this weekend I will put out a big message. It'll be like, hey guys, react to this message to enter the giveaway. And that's all you'll have to do is just react. And then I will randomly draw the winners for each prize and then contact the winners after putting their name in the main channel. Then you guys know when they're all drawn. And I'll contact the main winners and get shipping information and pass it on to the right folks. So, Lit Up Panda says, so glad I made the stream and got to interact with you all day. I know you attract dope people and I look forward to being a part of this community. Yeah, I look forward to you being here. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you to everyone for supporting and watching and hanging out. I am going to rate us into Maddie because she is playing the vampire therapy game that we started a little while ago but didn't entirely finish. And she's an amazing human being. I'm hoping that she'll be able to come to America for PAX Unplugged so that way we can hang out in New York a little bit. But I will be back tomorrow at 5 o'clock Pacific time for those on YouTube for a little one-on-one stream. In the meantime, I'll see the rest of you guys next week on Monday. So, bye-bye.